Hi, dear students. It's an integrated course of teaching foreign languages, and today's topic is the role of vocabulary learning strategies in teaching foreign languages and also learning foreign languages. And let's look through what's vocabulary acquisition. First of all, it means that learning vocabulary in order to have the major emotions about words, word groups. They maybe sometimes phrases, lexical chunks, lexical items. And why do we need learning vocabulary strategies? Why we have to know about them, and what kind of role do they have in the learning foreign languages? And the vocabulary acquisition is increasingly viewed as crucial to language. It's generally believed that if language makes up a selection of language, then it's vocabulary that provides the vital organ and flesh. These words belong to Hammer. And now, let's speak about the role of learning strategies and vocabulary acquisition. They can be seen as the process of tasks. Different vocabulary learning strategies may be used by the language learners to complete different kind of tasks. Each of these activities demands on metacognitive judgment, choice, and development of cognitive strategies for vocabulary learning. And each strategy a learner uses will determine a large extent how well any word is learned. And some scientists had their own taxonomy of vocabulary learning strategies. Here we will see Guo and Johnson's development, and they existed first in Chinese classrooms. They were widely used, and here you can see what kind of parts they are divided into: beliefs about vocabulary learning, metacognitive regulation, guessing strategies, dictionary strategies, and note-taking strategies, and also memory, cohesion strategies, memory encoding strategies, and activation strategies. And we can divide the vocabulary learning strategies into 5 essential steps. These steps may be having sources for encountering new words, getting a clear image, the visual or auditory or both, for the form of new words, learning the meaning of words, making a strong memory connection between the forms and meanings of words, and using words itself. And each step characterized by the use of specific vocabulary learning strategies. The first step involves encountering new words. The number of words that passes this step may differ depending on the nature of learner interest, motivation, need, context, and level of proficiency. The strategies used during the stage may be divided into or may involve such reading books, listening to TV and radio, reading newspaper and magazines, talking with other users of the language, and using traditional materials such as textbooks, word lists, and dictionaries. The second step essential to vocabulary learning appears to be the getting of clear image, visual or auditory, or both of this form of the vocabulary item. Strategies here may include forming associations, using sound symbols, using phonological cues, stress, and others. The next stage, it's the third one, and the one which is the most often associated with vocabulary learning, is getting or knowing the word's meaning. But it may include asking others about the word meaning, other students, native speakers or teachers, mind mapping, using context, or it may mean that situational context, discursive context, specific context, or text. And the last one is using dictionaries. Once the meaning and the form of a word is clear, those aspects must be condensed in memory. This group of strategies, sometimes they are called as mnemonics, is especially widely used by second language learners. This is the method that used by learners for this step doesn't seem to be as crucial as they do it. The more words learners can get through this step, the more words they will know overall. And the final step in vocabulary acquisition involves using the word. This step is necessary not only in order to boost the learner's respective knowledge, but also in order to increase their self-confidence and to give them opportunity to test their knowledge of collocations, syntactic restrictions, and register appropriateness. And the strategies used here should include both testing, but also stress activities allowing for the using of a word without undesired consequences. And here you can see that Oxford's taxonomy for the language learning strategies. It's real complete division or structure for language learning strategies, and they are divided into direct and indirect ones. And here you can see that direct strategies are also divided in some subgroups like cognitive, metacognitive, and cognitive, memory, and compensation strategies. And indirect strategies are divided into metacognitive, affective, and social strategies. Let's see each strategy itself. And the first one is from direct strategies is cognitive strategy, and it's one of the types of learning strategies that use it by the learners to learn more successfully. This may include repetition, organizing new language, summarizing meaning, guessing meaning from the text, and using imagery for memorization. And now, memory strategy. It means that memory vocabulary learning strategies use it for memorizing the meaning of the new vocabulary item in the language. Compensation strategies. It's the last one in the direct strategies. Compensation strategies are communication strategies used by language learners to compensate for limitations in their language. Especially monolingual learners may favor compensation strategies. Guessing the meaning when you don't understand and using gestures are examples of the compensation strategies. And the first of indirect strategies is metacognition. It's a kind of strategy that refers to methods used to help students understand the way they learn. In other words, it means process designed for students to think about their thinking. And the second one is affective strategies. The most popular affective strategy include those used for lowering anxiety, encouraging themselves, and ones consisting in taking the emotional temperature. What they mean? The language learners have to lose or lower their anxiety to learn better, and by lowering their anxiety, they may listen to the music, they may look at different flowers in the outside from the classroom or different views, or they may talk each other to lower their anxiety, and it may help them to overcome the difficulties and to overcome the stress in the learning process. And the last one is social strategies. It's the most useful and needable strategy, I think, in the basic level for the students. Social strategy is all variants of three basic strategies: cooperating with others, asking questions, and emphasizing with each other. And social strategy may include by learning by others from others' speech. It's also called a social strategy. And additionally, I can say that it has been observed in research that cognitive vocabulary learning strategies are the most diversified in the case of advanced users of English. The compensation and metacognitive strategies are followed, and on the other hand, affective vocabulary strategies are least diversified in language learning process. Thank you for your attention, dear students. That's the end of our lesson. Goodbye.